He will be sued, and I say will be because nothing has been filed yet, by at least 120 people in the next 30 days.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse.
Imagine working in the shadows of one of the most notorious prisons in the country, a place where whispers echo through the halls and secrets lurk behind every locked door. Now, picture what happens when one of the world's most famous music moguls, Diddy, known for ruling the entertainment industry with unmatched style, ends up in this grim world. Sounds like something out of a Hollywood movie, right? But this is no script. This is real life, at least according to anonymous accounts from inside the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC. And trust me, these stories are as wild as the man himself. Though here's the situation. Diddy was just arrested and taken into federal custody in New York. According to TMZ, Homeland Security agents stormed a Midtown hotel late Monday night, where Diddy was staying, and arrested him. What makes this story even more fascinating is how it all started. His arrest didn't just shock the public, it sent ripples through the prison system. Why? Because this wasn't your typical case of a celebrity getting into trouble. No, this was something much darker. The charges against Diddy were serious, and the courtroom drama surrounding his case dominated the headlines for months. Things took a turn when he was denied bail, not once, but 3 times. At that moment, it became clear this wasn't going to end with him lounging under house arrest in a Miami mansion. Instead, Diddy found himself locked up at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, a place infamous for its harsh conditions and eerie reputation. Most inmates would crumble in such an environment, but not Diddy. Reports say he walked into the facility like he owned the place. That confidence sparked debates about the justice system. Many questioned why he wasn't granted bond. Sure, he has the resources to flee, but he's also one of the most recognizable figures in the world. Isn't he innocent until proven guilty? Or does innocent have shades of meaning depending on the situation? Things got even stranger once he was behind bars. An anonymous prison guard who later quit out of fear has shared chilling details about Diddy's time there. According to this whistleblower, Diddy wasn't treated like any other inmate. From the moment he arrived, it was clear something was off. Rumors began swirling among the staff. Why was he here? Why hadn't he been transferred to a federal facility like other high-profile figures? Even the warden seemed nervous, issuing strict orders to avoid questions and follow protocol exactly. The first odd thing? His food. While other inmates ate bland, barely edible meals, Diddy reportedly dined on gourmet dishes. Roasted chicken, fresh vegetables, and even desserts were wheeled in on a cart every evening. And it didn't stop there. Designer clothes, expensive headphones, and a leather journal embossed with gold initials began appearing in his cell items, far from standard in a prison setting. Then there were the visitors. High-profile guests arrived late at night, long after visiting hours ended. These weren't ordinary visitors. They were powerful figures, some instantly recognizable. Business tycoons, public officials, and even people from Diddy's old circle stopped by. What they discussed remains a mystery, but the staff reportedly felt uneasy after every visit, as if something bigger was unfolding behind closed doors. And then came the glitches. According to the guard, security cameras in Diddy's block would flicker and distort at the same times every night, around 1 a.m. and again at 3 a.m. Sometimes the footage would freeze or go completely black. When the guard reported it, the tech team dismissed it as outdated equipment. But after weeks of the same pattern, it became clear this wasn't a coincidence. During these blackouts, strange things happened. The guard described hearing faint whispers, almost like murmurs, while patrolling late at night. At first, they thought it was their imagination, but the whispers grew louder, enough to make out fragments of words and even laughter. Yet, when they checked the cells, everything seemed normal. Diddy, for his part, seemed unfazed. If anything, he looked amused, as if he knew something no one else did. One night, the guards' curiosity got the best of them. During one of Diddy's recreational breaks, they snuck into his cell. What they found deepened the mystery. Hidden under his mattress was a piece of paper covered in strange symbols, unlike any language the guard recognized. Alongside it was a note scrawled in hurried handwriting that read, "Watchers, silence, loyalty." Behind a loose brick in the wall, they found something else. But what that was, the guard didn't say. They discovered a crude drawing of an eye surrounded by flames, along with a list of names. Some of those names matched guests who had visited Diddy late at night. This was the breaking point for the Guard. Fearful of what might happen if they stayed, they resigned shortly afterward. But even after leaving, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. There were anonymous phone calls and unfamiliar cars parked outside their home. It became clear that someone was keeping tabs on them. Despite the risks, they chose to speak out, hoping to reveal the truth about what was happening behind the walls of the Metropolitan Detention Center. At the courthouse in Lower Manhattan, a judge ordered the prosecution to hand over findings from a recent raid on Diddy's jail cell. The defense argued the seized items were legal documents, but the government claimed they were handwritten notes and a calendar. This raised questions. Why was Diddy receiving such unusual attention? What had the Guard discovered that left them so shaken? As the puzzle pieces come together, one thing is clear. This story is far from over. Could Diddy's influence stretch beyond the music industry, or is something darker at play? To understand the mountain Diddy is facing, let's look at the explosive charges against him. These allegations span years and have shocked even his most loyal fans. While Diddy has pleaded not guilty, the details paint a picture of someone caught in a web of control, manipulation, and power plays. This isn't just courtroom drama, it's a fight for survival, both legally and in the public eye. Diddy's legal troubles escalated in November 2023 when his ex, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit against him. The claims were shocking, alleging a decade-long cycle of control and abuse during their on and off relationship. Cassie described feeling trapped with no way out. Surprisingly, the case was settled just one day after it was filed. There was no trial, no public fight, just a quiet agreement. Right after precedent with the lawsuit and controversy that happened in 2023, there was a Nobel Prize and Tribune Awards for her work. While some saw this as Diddy trying to move on quickly, others wondered what he was trying to hide. Settling a case doesn't mean innocence, it simply means you're willing to make the issue go away. Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, spoke out through her attorney, saying it was heartbreaking to see her son judged based on lies instead of the truth. But if Diddy thought settling with Cassie would calm things down, he was wrong. Just days later, 2 more women came forward with lawsuits accusing him of similar behavior. These allegations dated back decades. One woman claimed she was mistreated by Diddy and his associates while still in college. The timing of these lawsuits wasn't random. They were filed under New York's Adult Survivors Act, which temporarily lifted the statute of limitations for older cases. Diddy's legal team denied all accusations, calling them fabricated in a blatant attempt to exploit his fame. However, the sheer number of claims makes them harder to dismiss. In the court of public opinion, where there's smoke, there's fire. And for Diddy, the flames threaten to consume everything he's built. Diddy maintains that the charges against him are 100% false, expressing hope that time will reveal the truth. But his legal strategy goes beyond defense. He's on the offensive. His lawyers have filed motions to dismiss some lawsuits, arguing they lack credible evidence or are too old to prove. It's not just about winning in court, it's about planting doubt in people's minds. If his team can convince the public that these allegations are exaggerated or false, they might salvage his reputation. Witnesses play a critical role in this case, and Diddy's team has worked hard to secure statements from people who support him or offer alternate accounts. However, this raises concerns about potential witness tampering. When Diddy was denied bail for the 3rd time, the judge cited worries about his influence and his ability to interfere with witnesses. Diddy has surrounded himself with people whose livelihoods depend on him, and some question whether they'd feel free to say no if asked to testify in his favor.
Because, as she cited in her order, there are very serious allegations about the danger that he potentially poses to other witnesses and the public at large. There are allegations that he has, been violent with others. He's also attempted to allegedly intimidate other witnesses and still contact witnesses while incarcerated.
There's also an unsettling rumor that some potential witnesses have vanished from public view. Insiders suggest that individuals who once spoke openly about Diddy's alleged behavior have suddenly gone silent. While there's no evidence of foul play, the timing is suspicious. Some speculate this silence could result from behind-the-scenes deals where loyalty is bought, not earned. Adding to the drama are reports that Diddy's legal team hired private investigators to dig into the accusers' lives. They're said to be searching for anything that could discredit these women, from financial records to personal relationships. While this tactic is legal, critics argue it crosses an ethical line, especially in sensitive cases like this. But for Diddy, this isn't just about avoiding prison. It's about protecting his legacy. As this case unfolds, it's clear that the stakes are higher than anyone imagined. Whether Diddy emerges as a man wrongfully accused or someone finally held accountable, this bold strategy might be Diddy's only chance. Wait a second, what did you just say? Repeat that. Back up. You're saying there are tapes being sold? Yes, that's right, there are tapes, and people have already started shopping them around. We've heard rumors about the tapes, but now we know for sure they're being shown to people in Hollywood. In fact, one person even contacted me to sell a specific video they had in their possession. Even with these bold moves, cracks are beginning to show. Legal experts have pointed out that Diddy's legal team is walking a tightrope. If they push too hard, they could turn the jury and public opinion against them. It's a risky gamble. One attorney commented during an interview, "On one hand, you want to protect your client's interests. On the other, you don't want to seem like you're bullying or being overly aggressive, especially in such an emotionally charged case." Balancing these factors adds another layer of difficulty to a trial that's already shaping up to be one of the most talked about in recent years. Let's not forget the powerhouse legal team Diddy has brought on board. These aren't just any lawyers, they're some of the best in the business, known for representing high-profile clients in cases with sky-high stakes. One of his lead attorneys, Mark Agnifilo, has a reputation for being ruthless in court. He doesn't just play by the rules, he bends them to work in his favor. Recently, Agnifilo stated that Diddy is focused, strong, and ready to fight. But how much of that is real, and how much is just for show? The man sitting in a prison cell now is far from the superstar who used to rule red carpets and award shows. The defense team's likely argument is that all the actions in question were consensual. They'll claim that the accusers were willing participants who understood the risks of attending these parties and engaging in the behaviors they chose. They'll also argue that alcohol and other substances were consumed voluntarily, and being in those environments was their choice. Now, let's take a closer look at how Diddy is coping with life behind bars. A guard at the Metropolitan Detention Center hinted that he might be receiving special treatment. But let's face it, no amount of perks like fancy meals or luxury headphones can replace the freedom he once enjoyed, and Diddy knows it. Insiders say he's been working out regularly to stay physically and mentally strong. However, there are also reports that he's struggling. His most recent court appearance shocked many, with onlookers commenting on how much thinner and older he appeared. Elizabeth Milner, a reporter for Law and Crime Network, described his transformation as startling. The stark difference between his glamorous, pre-arrest life and his current reality is hard to ignore. While Diddy's legal team insists he's staying positive, whispers from inside the prison suggest otherwise. Rumors say he's becoming increasingly paranoid, convinced someone in his circle betray him. This paranoia is even affecting his legal strategy. Sources claim Diddy has ordered his lawyers to dig into the backgrounds of his accusers, hoping to find anything that could discredit them. But this is a risky move. If it backfires, it could make him look even guiltier in the public's eyes. The numbers surrounding this case are staggering. Reports claim that 2,300 people reached out to the law firm handling the case. Out of those, just over 100 were selected. It seems like everyone wants a piece of the action, but the firm is taking its time to ensure they get it right. So, what's next for Diddy? His trial is scheduled to start in May 2025. If convicted, he could face decades in prison. Even if he's acquitted, his reputation might never recover. This isn't just about avoiding a guilty verdict, it's about protecting his legacy. For a man who built an empire on the image of being untouchable, Diddy now faces the very real possibility of losing everything he's worked for. The big question is Diddy orchestrating this chaos, or is he simply a victim of forces beyond his control? Is his downfall the result of his own actions, or is he being targeted as an easy scapegoat? The truth likely lies somewhere in the middle. One thing is certain, this story is far from over. As the trial date approaches, the world will be watching to see if Diddy can make a comeback or if this marks the end of his once unstoppable career. Whatever happens, Diddy's story serves as a reminder that no one is too powerful to fall. As this saga continues, more questions than answers emerge. Are the claims against him part of a darker truth? Or are they fueled by paranoia and fear? What's really going on behind the walls of the Metropolitan Detention Center? Could his downfall be entirely self-inflicted, or is there a bigger plot at play? What do you think? Share your thoughts and theories below. Until next time, stay curious and keep the conversation going.